Hey everyone, my name is Ritik Kumar. We are here for our Hardware Zero workshop, where I introduce you to all the basic hardware that we're going to give out in our hackathon. There are a couple of sensors which we are also giving out, but then they won't be included in the slide because that's a really small aspect of the hackathon. So I'm going to go through the main hardware, which is important, as in all the BCI hardware, microcontrollers, and etc. Just one second. I'll just test if my mic is working for our YouTube community. Perfect. Let's move ahead. Okay. I'm the Vice President Hardware in natHACKS for this year. Last year was someone else. I'm a second year specialization student in computer science at U of A. And I started off this journey in hardware with my Arduino, which was the very first piece of microcontroller I had in my house. It was a beautiful journey, and that's why I call Arduino my favorite hardware, because I can use it in multitudes of aspects. I will be going over through what all in a couple of slides. Introduction for our hackathon first. We're giving out multiple microcontrollers, OpenBCI controllers, sensors, and all kind of hardware that you will be needing during the hackathon to collect data from your bodies or any way you want. Now, one thing to remember is if you register for the hackathon, you might have registered to get a certain piece of hardware as well, which will be up for grabs in the site as well, and you can pick it up as an early access from us. If you want more information on that, because that's towards the management management side, you can email us. So let's begin. First piece of hardware, the ganglion board. This has to be one of the most important pieces out there. It's a 4-channel EEG and EMG and ECG supported device. You can collect data, you can collect the brain signals, biosignals from your body, and alter it in any ways you want. I have another workshop coming up during the natHACKS, which I will be going through how to use it, because this is supposed to be a basics of hardware. So I'm not demoing any kind of hardware over here, but connecting the hardware, how to use it, trial and errors, everything will be covered in the workshop which I'll be having in natHACKS, which is on 14th of November, if I'm not wrong. No, date will be put up on that portal. Best part about this project is that the hardware is that it's open source. Now, whatever data you get from this device, you exploit it in whichever you want. Now, there is a project which I'll be showing you soon in our next slides, which exploits that data and controls the drone just by this, without any physical connection to the drone. We connect it all by the ganglion board. Next piece of offering, we have the BioAmp EXG pill kit. This is just a simpler version of ganglion, I would say, but a very user-friendly one. Now, for this, you will need an Arduino or some kind of microcontroller board to control it, because it's not independent, as I would say. It controls all those 4 types of medical terms, that's EEG, ECG, EMG, and EOG. I will give these slides away to you in that portal, perhaps, and you can access all the details you want in that link, which I've put up over here, which I think I can see. Yep, there you go. It has a link. Now, this I have used before, and I use it for simple projects, as in just to collect my heartbeat or just testing out certain things which basically I didn't know how to use. So this was my starting hardware, and this is sponsored by Upside Down Labs, which is a company in India. And perhaps this is the best thing you could start with in case you are starting off with a new type of hardware in your projects, because I mean, it gives out pretty accurate signals, obviously not the most accurate, because it takes signals from only 2 to 3 electrodes, whereas ganglion has 4 channels, which could be, each channel could have multiple electrodes and have more accurate data. Moving ahead with NeurAlbertaTech. This is a neurostimulation device, and one thing I would like to put in is it's not FDA approved, but it is used for testing certain things. I mean, it's all BCI hardware, so you are testing out your biosignals in your body, and that's how you'll be using it. It's used to study the effects of neurostimulation on muscle contraction. It was also a part of a treatment called FES, functional electrical stimulation, which has been used to help restore the functions in the paralyzed limbs of people who have been in accidents or any kind of mishappening. And I mean, you can use this to also access your electrical currents in specific neurons on specific side of your body. I think that's pretty helpful if you want to make a project for yourself for the natHACKS. This is Unicorn Hybrid. Most expensive, most accurate in terms of BCI hardware. Now, this is also very similar to all the other hardware which I just showed you, but this is something which is more accessible to people and more user-friendly, as you don't. It has well-defined roles which you can just click on and use it. Whereas in OpenBCI, you have to program it yourself. Not program it yourself. You'll have to access the data on your own. Whereas Unicorn Hybrid has a GUI which you can access and collect certain type of data. Pretty much that's about it, because we have BCI hardware, which is almost same. Muse 2. This was used as a meditation device when it came out with the brand, but the fact that this is a hackathon, we're giving it out to you to exploit the data, obviously. And this is used to record certain frequency from your brainwaves, tracks your brain activity, and you can see all of this on their app. It's called Muse, where if you get this hardware, you could use their app specifically or connect it to Ganglion or your Arduino or any kind of microcontroller and access the data directly from there if you don't want to use the app. Similar to this, we have a Muse S, which is the more comfortable version of Muse 2, which has been a great breakthrough for people in research, because now Muse S can be used by researchers to put it on their put it on their head and sleep through it. You know how they use data to see how well you slept at night, if you were disturbed by something or if you had any issues? So yes, this is the one, because you can. It's pretty much same as the Muse 2. It's just the electrodes are in a band which you can wear now. Connected through a Bluetooth module or directly with Bluetooth of your Mac or Windows PC, perhaps Linux as well. Let's go to the next one. These two are our microcontrollers. Arduino. Okay, perfect. My favorite. More simple to use, I would call this a mediator or a controller between sensors that you're trying to use and your PC. Basically, when you connect the sensors to the Arduino, you would not be able to control them, physically. You need a PC or some sort of device that you can control it through. Now, sensors can give out all kind of data, so you collect that through it. And there's so much more to this which cannot be covered in this, but in this workshop. But again, this is the most, I would say, the best starting point for anyone who's trying to get into hardware. I will go through the ports in this because that's important. Okay, we have our normal DC input. We also have a USB connector, can also be powered. Fun fact: the USB connector is like a printer's USB input. It has a certain name, but I'm not sure what, but it uses the same input that a printer uses to take data from your laptop. We have digital I/O pins, input and output, on this side and that side. This one's the analog. The left side of the leftmost of the board is what you're going to take inputs and outputs from your PC, give it to the board, and take it from the sensors and give it to you back to your PC. Again, that's the heart of our board, which is the microcontroller itself. I would not go about anywhere else because out of bounds, you wouldn't require that. Yep, let's move ahead. Please start with Arduino if you're beginning with any kind of project. If you don't know hardware, because again, this is the most user-friendly one and you can understand it. Raspberry Pi. As I mentioned, you need some kind of PC or some kind of microcontroller to control your sensors. This is the PC, the Raspberry Pi. And people use Raspberry Pi for downsizing their projects, because now you don't want to have a PC on your project just to control the Arduino. You can replace this to use this as a PC. But I should also add, all the sensors that work with Arduinos can also work with Raspberry Pi directly. So now you don't need a separate board in between, which is the Arduino, because this does the work. It's 2-in-1. A lot of people use this as in for projects and any kind of things. One thing I want to get into is pen testing, pen testing is basically goes towards hacking and cybersecurity. again, it's a PC, so you can use it for anything you want. I will be going through the different ports as well in this one. Okay. I did not notice this before, but this is a Raspberry Pi 3, which has a micro USB power. But in the picture, we have a Pi 4, which this is what we're giving out. It has a Type-C for everyone, because Type-C is the new port, which everyone has. We have two HDMI ports. It supports two multi-displays at the same time. We also have a camera module, audio jack, and Ethernet port is the most important because you need internet access. It also has an onboard Wi-Fi and a Bluetooth in some models, but Wi-Fi for sure. USB ports, it has 4 in total, as in this picture. 2 USB 3 ports and 2 USB 2 ports. Also, storage device, obviously. We are giving out 128 gigs of storage for the Raspberry Pi. So you can entirely run your project just on the Raspberry Pi, control everything. You don't need a PC, a physical PC on your hand to control. I mean, it's useful for downsizing your project because you don't want to have a PC in your hand all the time. And projects, this is the most interesting one. Okay, Hackathon. This one is used as an example which I mentioned for OpenBCI/SiteOnDaisy. We're not giving that out, but again, it is OpenBCI Ganglion can make this work as well. I am currently working with this project team. This is a project which it's in progress. So what the aim of this project is basically you use OpenBCI, collect data signals from the headset. We have OpenBCI Ganglion headset. Now, this is aimed towards controlling your arm, a prosthetic arm, without actually having physical connection to it. So this can help people who have been in accidents, tragedies, missing limbs, etc. And yes, for researchers as well. Now, we have 3D printed models of this hand, but we are looking into which is the best one. Long story short, imagine you have a prosthetic arm just sitting connected to your body, but not any physical wired connection. You think to move your arm, your fingers, any group of muscles, and it will pick it up because the ganglion is collecting all the data from different parts of your brain. This is the electrocardiography project, which is made using the BioAmp lab, BioAmp, if you remember from the previous slides. I have put down these projects so that when you have access to these projects or the hardware, you can actually go ahead, try it on your own, see what errors you have, send us the issues if you have, or figure it out on your own, so you don't have difficulties during the hackathon. It does chest ECG heart with EKG and works on a small microcontroller. As I mentioned, Arduino Uno, it has multiple types. Arduino has multiple types. It has Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, which is this one, a really small board, and also has Arduino Micro, which is basically a coin-sized module, which is also a microcontroller. But it lacks all the ports on it. It doesn't have a power input, so you'll have to power it directly by wires, and it has a micro USB port. I would say this is the most efficient one, but we are using Arduino Uno, which is even better. The line follow robot. This is now made with the Arduino Uno. It has a shield if you see over here. It's just to control the motors. You can do it without that as well. It's no issues. Now, this was my starting project when I got into Arduino. This is interesting. Why? Because it follows lines. Line follow robot, obviously. Now, it has two sensors beneath the machine over here, which detects, which knows how to detect if there is a white line, white color, or a black color. Now, it uses infrared rays to do it. So wherever it sees a black line pasted on the ground, it will straight up follow those machines. All of these wires are connected to the Arduino shield and the Arduino Uno, takes the data, connects with the power, and processes all of it within the board itself. So you don't need a third-party PC on there. Again, best beginner project. Okay, this one. Interesting, a little bit complicated, but I think it will help you guys. The translingual neurostimulator. This is using one of our BCI hardware, or you can use the NeurStim Duino on this. Also, small thing, I've put the access to all of these on the small credits section in the left bottom, so you can access all the data, how they made it, how you want to approach it, and all the question answers they have. The way this works is it uses the signals on your tongue and the tilt of your movement of your head. So very brief explanation, because if I get into this and it has all these all this modes, it uses your accelerometer, if I'm not wrong, in it to control certain patterns, certain things that you want to do, which you would not do in a person who has disability. I would prefer you guys read it through the link I've mentioned over here to get in more detail. I don't want to get into details right now because we don't have time for that. Let's moving on to the next one. Also, this was a mistake. It was supposed to be up. This was the line follow robot, as here are the infrared sensors right here, connected directly to the Arduino, and the power goes in one of these ports because 3-volt access. Pretty simple. Like, this has to be one of the best beginner projects. The Brain Dome. This was made last year by the members of our NAT. This was the one I was referring to when I said OpenBCI has a drone which is controlled just by the headset. You will also be given access to this headset if you're lucky, because we have limited sets, so people who get it, get it. Otherwise, you can also use normal electrodes on your body to get the data out of it. I have an idea. I can actually give out the hardware so that you guys can see. Oh, this is like just the board, not everything else. I mean, it looks almost the same. I have more pieces of hardware which I'll be giving it out towards the end, and you can see how they look and ask me a question if you have further. Okay, so the way this works is you think of a color, basically red or different variants of color, and you program it such a way that when you think of this certain color, your brain produces a certain frequency, and using that frequency, we can control if the drone goes up, down, left, right, or takeoff or landing. This has to be one of the most interesting projects I've seen, because this was made last year and I was not a part of it. But yes, if we make any developments on this, I will try to be a part of this next time. There is more information on this site right here, and I could go on the brief of how they use Python to make this work, and they were originally using machine learning in this. Which one were they using? Yeah, deep learning, but they could not make it work as much because they didn't have that much experience. Now they have machine learning embedded to it with Python using the k nearest neighbor algorithm, and that's how they take the different colors and filter out different frequencies and then make your drone work left, right, up, down, and whatever. You can use this for many things. Like, I had a project idea where I'm just sitting in my house and I have this, not the entire headset obviously, but basically I can just wear it and think of my lights being turned off, my lights being turned off, my fan being turned on, and etc. I did that with Arduino though. I made a home automation project.
What's the sensors, the blue ones?
This one?
No.
Oh, these? Yeah, these are the electrodes. These are called the spiky. Yeah, just electrodes. It's called the spiky electrodes, and this is where your ganglion goes in. This is a site on Daisy in the project right over here, but this can be done with a ganglion as well. That's your battery pack and various cables just connected to the electrodes. That's it. And you can collect, you can control individual electrodes to take data specific from them. So it's a 4-channel, and I think this one's a 16-channel if I'm not wrong. But yes, that's the basic setup. I love how it's just like you're thinking of a color. Like, imagine you're just thinking of red color and it just takes off. Like, just how cool is that? I mean, I hope to see more of these. Yes, sure.
How many electrodes was active for this project?
How many electrodes, sorry?
Are active. Like, did they use all 16?
Oh yeah, so this one, I believe it's under 16 because they didn't want to, I'm not sure what the parts of brain does the motor frequencies, so they're not collecting it all over the brain, just certain parts of the brain. That's why I said you can collect individual data from each electrode.
Also, you have to pick a specific area where you think is correlated with the movement that you're
Right.
doing.
So coming to that, imagine if you're using all of the electrodes, and if you're using the OpenBCI GUI, which I'll get into towards the ending, you will see multiple brainwaves. Some will be static, so you can just turn those off, so you're not using those. So if you're accessing all of them, some will be off, some will give like inaccurate data. To filter them out, so you select different types of electrodes for that same purpose. So it's called noise reduction. So there's not noise in the data you're getting because they interfere at times. hobby project for Raspberry Pi. Now, what it basically does is it takes your location, or I use it for my location, but this one's based on the International Space Station. Now, it goes around our Earth in the space station. What it basically does is picks up the location from the station in the space. I think it's through their IP address, if I'm not wrong, and this red dot is basically on a map, and the globe keeps moving. I wish I could show you the video. I'll see if I can do it towards the end. So it gives live updates on where that space station is on your globe. So it keeps revolving around the globe, the red light. And I'll show you a video for giving better confirmation. But yes, again, this is just a type of project you can make with the Raspberry Pi, which is pretty interesting. I have linked few documentations for you guys, so you can go in and not forget how to do things, and you find out how to do things. The ganglion documentation has to be one of the most important because, again, this is a new hardware maybe some of us are working with, and it has basically everything from how much power it takes in, what output to take, which all electrodes, which all channels, how to use it, how to set it up, and etc. Arduino, basic, Raspberry Pi, again, same documentation. EKG, yes, this one. Also, another interesting fact about the X is basically it can be replaced with a C or a K or a O. That's what it stands with EXG. So replace X with whatever you want because it supports all of them. And this is one of my favorite websites. It's called Instructables, where you can go around, look for projects, take ideas, and build on them. If you don't have an idea to start with in natHACKS, which is basically a big issue with most of the hackers, they come in and they want to know what they want to make. You go on Instructables, look around, you find a good project. Obviously, don't copy it because there are already submissions of previous hackers, so you can't plagiarize anything. And you can build and take ideas from it. That comes to the end of our workshop. If you have any questions, I'll be right here. We will be putting on a brief pause on the YouTube video. Or we can just keep it over here, that's all right. If you have any questions, let me know. And can you check if any YouTube viewers have any questions? Perfect. Any questions?
Okay, so I took part in the problem provider one.
Okay.
The problem we have doesn't really deal with any
Okay.
of this.
Mm-hmm.
But on the hacking leads, is it just for us as problem providers? Is it just listing that, or can we also work on something like this?
You could do the first one for sure. You have to go around and talk to them and put on your problems. As to if you get to use one of these, which you will have to contact support for that, because it's again from the organizing side, and I'm just handling hardware. But yes, I will take this up and give you a reply if you want it from me, or you could message contact at NeurAlbertaTech. Yeah, it should be. I think you wouldn't have anything because you're not participating in hackers, because our hardware is being given out to hackers itself, who are actually going to be using it. So, I mean, you can get more clarification on that website. I'm not using it. Anything else? I'm going to be here because I think we finished it pretty quick. Yep, we finished it in half an hour. Oh yeah, sure. Thank you for reminding.
Is that
The hardware.
am I little bit blind?
So I will give them out.
Is that the newest one?
Yes, we have a Raspberry Pi, we have the Arduino, we have the ganglion, and we have the, oh yeah, this is the BioAmp EXG pill. It's pretty small,
Wait, what is this one?
the BioAmp.
Okay.
Yeah, so this size where your electrodes go in, and I think the project, yep, there you
How
go.
expensive is this one?
This one? Pretty cheap, very user friendly. Because this was created by a small startup in India, and they sponsored us to give it out. Pretty much. You can start passing it over so people can have it. Are you guys all as hackers or PP, problem provider division?
I'm hacker under the problem provider.
Oh, that's nice.
I have a question for this one.
Yes.
Does this only take 4 electrons? Is that what you said?
It has 4 channels, yes. Raspberry Pi, and the Muse. This is a Muse too. We have a Muses as well. I'm not sure why I didn't bring it. I thought it's pretty similar, so there's no difference, but I could grab it later on if you guys want it.
This one, does it go like this?
Yeah, it goes over your forehead.
On your forehead?
I can demo it for you, to be honest. Yes, let's do it after everyone's seen the hardware.
Just your electrodes here, and then, right?
Yep, and then you have to connect it to a microcontroller because you need to control all the signals. It cannot be controlled directly into your PC.
Does this, what things does this have?
As in, like what can you do? ECG, EOG, EKG, and yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
and does it have an onboard timer?
Onboard?
Like a inbuilt timer?
I don't think so. No. Yeah, thank you.
How do you install Linux on Raspberry Pi?
Sure. Oh yeah, actually I did forget a small part of our workshop, which was to actually show you guys how to install different software. Okay. Here is the Arduino's IDE. Arduino runs on, I would say basically a version of C, but not exactly C. I'll start this right after we're done with the. Sure, thank you. I can come collect it from you, it's all right. Thank you. Yeah.
And I have a Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry is too good. Did you know there's a new one coming out, Pi 5?
I did not.
It has a M.2 SSD support.
Which one is this one?
I think it's Pi 4.
Yeah, I have a Pi 3 now.
Okay.
I was like, I don't have one which has like, it's fully enclosed.
Full enclosed. Okay. I mean, you can find different cases online, whatever you want.
True.
I've seen this very cute CPU builds. It's going to be a small CPU case, and you just put your Raspberry Pi into it. It looks good. It has LED support. Yeah, looks good.
I've seen a couple of gaming rigs,
Mhm.
emulators on Raspberry Pi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just take these.
When you first showed the Muse, I thought that was like a bone conduction headphone.
Oh, that's yeah. That's about it. But I'll demo it on there, like take data from it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait.
No, static. Let's go to the software first, and then we will get to the demoing of the Muse. All the kind of Arduinos will require this. I'll just show you the different kind of Arduinos that's there, but which is not a part. But again, you can take all of this. If for your knowledge, we are not giving all of this in our hackathon, just the Arduino Uno, which is this one, the R3 specifically.
Sure.
Yeah. And let's head back to software. You come to software, anything you require that is an Arduino thing related, you will need the CC to do it, which is the IDE, Windows, Linux, macOS. Perfect thing. Moving on to the Ganglion. Now, Ganglions, basically what we have done, we have provided you a boilerplate which uses an algorithm, a data plate called BrainFlow, the data set in Python, which you can use to collect data into Python directly. But if you don't have the expertise to do it, they have the GUI, graphical user interface, given by the OpenBCI directly. And let's see if I have it. Do I have it? I have it.
You have it.
I do, but let's see. Pretty simple. You connect with this Ganglion over here. All of this will also be demoed. Oh, this can't go full screen. Yeah. So I'll be demoing how to use this specific GUI in our next workshop as well, because again, I don't want to go off topic over here. It's pretty detailed, that's why. Let's see if I can actually open a little bit. it won't let me start a session. It's all right. So this is what the GUI looks like. And this is the BioAmp EXG pill. Any kind of things that if you want to buy it, you can, pretty cheap. And those are different add-ons which you get with this. If you can take the cables, take the electrodes and whatnot. And different kind of projects for understanding.
You said the ganglion was the one which, for the brain,
Mhm.
right?
I think, so in my opinion, you could basically take the same data. If you don't want a complex data, you can use the Muses, the unicorn, and yeah, those two, and the ganglion. Ganglion being the most advanced one where it has multiple data like outputs. This has just a couple of sensors on your forehead. That's about it. Any other questions? No? Okay. Let's hopefully our do we have? Yeah, there you go. Just 1 second, let me connect it to it. There you go. I am going to wear it. Okay, this is my focus state, which do not have that much noise, and now that I'm talking, it is going to give a few variants. The best way to test it is with my eyebrows. Those ups and down, the first channel and the last channel you see is my movements. So yes, that's a very small demo. Now, this into 60, no, this but 16 channels could be on ganglion. No, sorry, yeah, 16 waves on a ganglion with 4 channels. So yeah, this is like just an open source window that we have made for our consumers to actually understand like if it's working or not. This does not give, I mean, it does give a certain, I can show you the data set. This is going to be random because it's not on my forehead. It's all the data is saved in a CSV file.
That makes sense because machine
Numbers.
purposes.
Yes. So here we go with our first one, second one. And you can take all of this, exploit it however you want. You want to see if you're moving your arm, you want to see if you're moving your leg, go ahead. All of this is over here.
It'd be pretty confusing to interpret that.
Oh, it would be, yeah. So every channel has a different place that it picks up the, like it's, I don't have that much expertise on this, but each channel picks up data in a certain manner. Because if you see some values are all negatives and some are positives and really big values. And that's why I link the documentations everywhere, because I know I'm pretty sure there are going to be questions on how to start with this. And I've not used the Muse S or 2 personally, but I have used the EXG pill because this was accessible, very cheap. Yes, I can't access all of this thing if I was on in that. So there's a small demo. I am.
That's just recording static, I guess.
That one? Yeah. It's nothing else because after, I mean, if you leave it in the air, it's just going to take random data. And as to what we wanted would be just specific data coming from our forehead.
Cool.
Yes.
Do you record the EEG using
Mhm.
OpenCI or the unicorn? Do you need to use gels?
Good question. So OpenBCI, if you're using it with a headset, you have something called the spiky electrodes, which I don't have right now. It just sits on your head, like those electrodes just sit on your head, but you need a headset for that. So we will be giving that to you. So it just sits on your head and you take it off. No, no kind of gel because these are gel free. We're also giving out sticky electrodes that come with gels already on them, and they're single use or at least 2 uses. I would suggest change the electrodes after every second use, because then the particles on the gel pad is going to interfere with your EEG data, and we have plenty of them, so how much ever you want them. Oh, also, right there, these are the ones we're giving out. So it comes with gel already in them. It's going to be in the middle.
What that reminds me of,
Yeah,
totally different thing, but
we have time.
if you've ever seen like Dr. Who's, like the, like if you have a muscle pain or whatever, you can
Uh-huh.
just have it and it does, it's basically an electrode, but
Yeah.
it sends a
Signal.
and your muscles twitch a bit.
Yes, that is neurostimulation, which you can also do with this right here. That's why the first thing I said, it's not FDA approved, so it doesn't mean you can go around testing it on animals and humans, but yeah. But yes, it's a open source project, so you can use it for whatever you want.
I'm talking about a commercial thing.
Commercial thing. Yeah, understood. Yeah, no, but then what you were talking about, like neurostimulation, because it sends electrical impulses to your muscles and contracts them. So yes, that. Very. I find this pretty interesting. I want to work with this one day.
Do you have the tabs that will be provided on hand? Because we were trying to record certain channels.
Mhm.
So we were recording on the front and at the back.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if,
So you said if we are going to provide the caps,
yeah,
the headset.
yeah, for the OpenCI or the unicorn.
Are you talking about caps as in, where is it? This one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's why I said they are limited in numbers. Some people are going to get it, some won't. So you can use normal electrodes, like you could hook these electrodes directly to the analog pins over here or the input-out pins if you don't get the headset. If you do get it, I mean, sure. We will be providing all of that, yes.
When do you provide that?
So they are up for grabs in the the hackathon beginning. So when you come in, you register, you take them when you have it. If you're registered, if they are provided to you, we will be sending out emails for whoever chose their first choice, second choice, third choice, and fourth one. We will send out the email if you are accepted for the hardware or not, and then you'll pay the deposit and whatnot. If you can't take it, you can pick it up from us. But if you can't, you come directly to the site. We'll give it to you in person. And it's not given just to the people who are registered online. Some people might have not. They might have opted for like, oh, I don't need any hardware. But they change their mind during the hackathon. So we have hardware in person as well to just purchase. The only requirement, the deposit. All the deposit information, anything that you need is going to be in the rules section, which is, please be right, yes. Is this natHACKS.ca/rules. And here is, no, that's the pricing. Right here, all the deposits. We will return them to you, trust us. I mean, that sounds fishy, but yeah, we will do it.
Cool.
Because again, we are giving it out and giving it out to people which we need to have some kind of security, because these are pretty expensive. Also, something I did not cover because it was not related to like microcontrollers and boards, was the VR itself. Use it to your knowledge, because I'm not sure how I would use it. We have I mean, it will be given to people.
Well, it could be interesting to have it so you have a head,
Uh-huh.
and you could use the Quest, and you'd be like running around without the need for a hand controller. Right?
Maybe, yes. Interesting. I mean, it does make sense, but then again, the Quest is connected with. Oh, it's not connected with anything. Right, wireless. Yeah.
So, for example, we have the Apple new headset that's coming out next year. Right?
Hopefully it doesn't. Oh god, it's useless.
The very expensive one.
Yeah.
But it has really good eye tracking,
Oh yes, it does, yeah.
from what I've heard at least.
Demos were pretty nice.
Anyways, so in that same scenario, not using your hands, but using something else to move around.
Yeah, that. I think that's possible if you're. But as in, if you don't want to use your arms at all, right? You just have to think about it.
maybe I want to use my mouse for something else. Like,
Yeah, something else, but think about something else. Yeah, got it.
Do the moving.
Move. Yeah. Another project idea with the VR I got from somewhere. I'm not sure how it happened. You see how I said you can use to take electrical signals from the BCI hardware? Now you can using the VR, you can put yourself into a different environment and take specific data from that. Imagine you're in a horror game. Your blood levels are going up. Oh no, sorry. Your blood heartbeat is going up. Your blood pressure is going up, and whatnot. You're worried. All those are going to change some kind of signals, to, frequencies in your brain anyway. So you can collect those and then put them towards a calm situation in the VR, like a green field of dandelions. So yep, that's pretty good idea, I guess. Anything else? Oh yeah, you had a question about putting the Linux on the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
They will be coming installed with Raspbian OS. Raspbian OS is a distribution of Linux, which is specifically for Raspberry Pis. We will install them and give it to you.
Okay.
It's going to be in the SD card, which we are going to do it for you. So when you get the Raspberry Pi, it's ready. All you have to do is install the necessary modules, necessary packages, which you think are the best.
Okay.
Yeah. I will give you a proper running things. Like, you don't have to do anything on your own. Just make use of it and come up with great ideas. Yeah. Also, before you guys go, I'm going to give out a few stickers for coming to the workshop. I mean, should I lay them out or all yours? Oh, you would love stickers. Here you go.
There's no more workshops today, right?
No, that's about it. I would highly encourage you guys to come for the one in the hackathon, because that's where I'm actually demoing things. I will be doing a sample project as well, because this one was aimed towards basically just to show people that this is something that exists in a hackathon. Also, yeah, one more thing you guys might be wondering is the sensors that work with the Raspberry Pi or the Arduino or the Raspberry Pi. We're giving a tons of them as well, but we have not listed them out anywhere yet. We will be putting them on the NAT portal directly in the hardware section.
Cool.
Yeah. It ranges from anything from distance sensors, light sensors, infrared rays.
Those ones are not on the
Yeah, they're not.
deposit.
Yeah, they're not, yeah. Because all of those come with the kit. So you come into us, if you need a certain type of module or the sensor, we can give it to you.
Thank you, Arthur.
It will be made available on NAT portal, the list of entire hardware, by tomorrow, day after tomorrow. That's it. Because I've been putting them on the hold because I want to give it as a surprise to all of them that we have the small sensors which you didn't even think of. Not just the hardware, we have not just the boards, we have things that work with the board as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good week.